Test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. The sound from the desktop is not coming in. Trying to figure out what's going on. Test, test. Test, test. Alright, I think we're good to go. Still working out the routing for the audio for this. Getting some hardware audio out. That out to the stream, so I don't know what's going on there. But you'll be able to hear desktop audio now. Where are we? All right. So this is the scene we were playing with last. What are we working on that? We're not working on that. Fine. Want to be working on cascades. We're working on here, but we're having some really bad frame rates with the trees that we're getting snow successfully. Figure out a good way. We're gonna play with a couple of new assets tonight. Or while we're working on this stuff. What project do we want to throw them in? Bit of that. The one that's already been set up. So after we shut down the stream last time, imported. I believe I imported some trees that are basically winter. Since we're not doing seasons on this, predefined tree. I'd go for some of the heavier runs. Right there. Okay. So we're looking for some trees. Where are these trees? Yes, who's joined us? It's alright.
Not Vista.
No, we were gonna wrap this up first. That said, you want to play a little ADF? Give that a quick test. Do you believe the update should be up?
Sure. I will start update.
And then when you're ready, let me know and kick off the launch on mine. Until then, I'm gonna be looking for trees. Environment. Maybe this is the.
Going to take a while. Clean drive.
I think this snow-covered spruce might be sufficiently low poly for the density we want. Why did my graph? Ocean. Did I just mess up a. I just messed up my graph. Where's this biome? I think this biome got deleted somehow. Got a backup project. Oh. But I don't know what just happened. Let's destroy the backup. Just a minute. It's in ADF.
ETA 3 minutes.
Justin's gonna join us in the in ADF. I'll jump into Discord if people want to join. Do I have a voice channel set up? Live stream voice. can. Just a second. I gotta route your audio properly. So the rest of people watching. The rest of. By the rest of, I mean Sora. Test. You say something?
Host.
There. Alright. I think they can hear you. Hey, Sora.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I'm just patching. 94.4% done.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I set up wave 2 to be 50 crabs. I haven't survived it yet. It hasn't crashed, but I have not lived long enough to see if it will crash. So
There's some stuff in physics that we have to take a look at the code to see kind of what you're doing, because it's definitely happening in the physics library, right?
Yep.
So we have an idea of what that is, but we are hesitant to like look too deeply because we're refactoring that whole subsystem, right? Like we're exposing the entire physics API to the server, so it'll make it a little different.
Yeah, so you guys have access to the code, and I'll keep it that way. If you have anybody else on the team who needs access, just let me know.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely.
the project, I mean, you're getting a lot of pink stuff and a lot of broken stuff because none of the assets are shared, and I've added a few assets since. But it should at least run if you need to do some debugging.
Well, certainly for the as long as the colliders are there and the physics is there, that's kind of the key part, right? We don't need any presentation layer things. All right, let's see if this thing has patched itself yet. No, not yet. My system is old. Like when I mean old, I mean I bought it in 2010.
Got at least a couple of systems.
So it's an old Intel i7 980, like a 980X, and I went like kind of top of market when I bought this thing. I still have I put a Titan in it in 2013, and it hasn't changed since then.
I'm turning off my game music because I've got stream music going.
It still says it's applying diffs. It's still sitting at 94.4.
Oh yeah, if you're just updating now and you didn't catch the patch yesterday, it'll sit there for a while because it's basically extracting a multi-gig data file.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got an SSD. It's not going to take forever. That was the only other upgrade I've done to this thing. Well, I had my power supply fail at some point. I had the hard drive start to fail, so I put in an SSD, which was kind of revitalized the old beast. But it runs your game really well, I have to say. It's
pretty cool considering I tested on a beast of a machine. I don't test it on lower end hardware.
My GPU is 9 years old.
Nice.
And it's actually 60 frames per second for the most part. I'm running at 3840 by 1440, or 3880 by 1440.
I can't complain about that. Especially considering I only did an hour or two's worth of optimization on the thing.
No, I was quite surprised. Like it performed really, really well, right? Like graphically, it was doing like your bloom effects and stuff. They're a bit heavy. I actually turned the bloom off just so I could see.
Oh, did it actually work to turn the bloom off? I didn't know I even had that hooked up properly.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I think that part did work. I think I had to restart it, but yeah, I think it did work. I mean, even with the bloom on, it was not having a frame rate issue.
Yeah, I definitely had to turn the bloom down. For our submission for the jam, I think I played 5 minutes maybe after I did the build, just to make sure that I could log in and build and shoot something.
Yeah.
So it had no testing at all. It was really late.
Yeah.
I was tired and I had the whole thing going on the next day, and so I was like, all right, well, I hope this works.
Oh, you were aggressive though. Like that, the amount of features you were pushing was a lot. Like for 2 weeks, like even, I mean, we're pretty quick for what we do when we do projects with this, and you know, even our 2-week schedules are not that aggressive. We're kind of like, hey, if we have it gray boxed and working, and all these all these other aspects of it working within like a week, then we're good, right? And then we start to gussy up the presentation layer.
Yep.
Oh wow, it's really thumping music.
Assets definitely help a lot.
Yeah, assets do help for the look, but we kind of, it's all about finding the fun.
Yep. Yeah, this base that I threw
Yeah.
in ended up hurting us in the end because all the
Yeah.
colliders were broken and I didn't have enough time to really get it fixed.
It doesn't. So there's a sniper rifle.
Sniper rifle, I think I broke it today. Had it working really well, and then today it seems like it doesn't shoot all the. But
So there's definitely
they'll give you
a
one-shot
lag
kills.
when. Oh yeah, somebody's shooting. Oh yeah, somebody's wasting these things. Is that you? Where are you?
Down below.
Oh yeah, there you are. Yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, your animations are definitely messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Your dude's looking straight to the roof.
So I tore out. Sorry, I tore out animation rigging yesterday,
Yeah.
and I haven't tested it in multiplayer yet, so I'm not surprised it's broken.
Yeah, it's probably the way to do that. I mean, you're really just going to want to sync the key properties, no matter what your rigging is,
Yeah,
right?
and that's what it's
So
that's what
say,
it's doing
okay,
really.
you're gonna have like
It's syncing the keys,
keyframe
and then it's sending a couple extra data like aim position and stuff like that. So I don't know
Yeah.
why it's. I mean, it should be working either way, but
yeah, it
I'm
should
gonna
be.
totally replace it.
It-
I need
it
a
could
linear
be that,
airstrike.
You know. Yep. Oh wow. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. I need an airstrike now.
I need an
Okay,
airstrike.
airstrike's inbound.
Oh, I hit. And we get like one before you run out of money. Ooh, I'm dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a problem. This is a problem.
If they get
Did we get them all?
oh, I need to make it so you can move
Wow,
your camera.
50.
Yeah, if the horde gets close to you, you're dead instantly, and there goes the server.
Oh. How did you? Yeah, we got to look at that. That's gonna generate some nice.
Yeah.
Oh, exit to main menu.
So if you get covered by that horde, you're basically dead instantly because it's timed damage with proximity to the creatures, and so you get 10 of them next to you, and you're basically toast. So you got to keep away from them. The best spot's up on the side, but with the 50 plus bugs, they stack on each other like ants and come and get you anyway.
Yeah. I'm just restarting it here because I accidentally said go ahead when I shouldn't have. Hold on.
I don't know if the server's back up. Sorry, you about in?
Yeah. So you're.
I'm still applying diffs. I'm at 191 of 257.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. You got the voice recognition for airstrikes and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I work on that for a living,
was-
so that's. I had an excuse to get that done. I actually
Yeah,
justified
no.
using that to prep for a demo that I did at work.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just turning down some of the.
I used it for a training session.
Whoops.
Alright, I'm dropping in as well now.
I just exited by accident after applying settings. So I clicked the exit button instead of. These are all basically free assets, right?
No, not free.
Not all of them. Yeah, okay.
There's a good chunk of not free in here. So the rocks and terrain are all Castle Valley.
Right.
And then the terrain textures, the new ones, I don't know if you noticed, I replaced those. It's a new release asset.
Okay.
And I really like them. I thought they did a really good job. tile well, and they look pretty awesome. And
Yeah, they do definitely look pretty good.
the guns, the player, all of that are Maxim Bugermoff. Let's say his name.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright, I'm watching you. You're changing. Oh, wow. You're doing some kind of crazy posing stuff while you change weapons. Oh, yeah. Some, like,
I think that's Sora.
flying,
I don't think that's
flying
me.
Titanic stuff.
Yeah, that's me, and I can see the same crazy posing stuff, or at least some crazy posing stuff. I don't know if it's the same, but it looks
Hey,
pretty
open
weird
fire!
to me.
Open fire!
One of the other things to use, there's definitely a way to do object pooling to get rid of these kind of spawn legs.
Yeah, I didn't get around to doing very much pooling. I did some.
Yeah. But there's a way to give, like,
Uh-oh.
reactor kind of the pooling for the client. Oh, wow, we're so
I'm
dead.
climbing up the wall.
Oh, we're so dead. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, draw their fire.
Yeah, this is a lot of units. I mean, 50 units. This is actually not a lot of work for the system, because I did the test with 5,000 units the other day, like 5,000 NPCs, which was pretty good, and it was using about 12% of a CPU, like 12% of a CPU on a server. But as soon as you have some logic, right, that blocks down.
Oh, yeah.
They were running some pretty minimal logic before. Although we need a grenade launcher.
Yeah, that was one thing I wanted to add that I just didn't get around to this weekend. I've got
Yeah, whatever you're doing is CPU intensive. I think you have a busy loop somewhere.
got a slot for grenades already in the UI. I just have to build the functionality. I need a different gun.
Yeah, I see the predictor, the smoother, doing some crazy stuff. There's a pile of bugs.
I think there's a corpse over there. Maybe Sora's corpse.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, they're all piled on the corpse and flying around and doing some crazy stuff. Because the predictor or the smoother is basically what you're getting is uneven frame rate, which is typically because there's a script that is taking more than the allotted, like 11 milliseconds
need an
or
airstrike.
something that we have.
Need to turn up my. I don't know if.
Is it coming? Did they say airstrike coming?
I don't think so.
Does it airstrikes where your cursor's pointed,
Yep.
right?
I need an airstrike. I gotta turn up my audio. I can't hear it. No, if it actually worked.
Me and the airstrike. Okay, it's coming. One airstrike has been ordered.
Yeah, I need to give you a point counter so you can see. There we go. Boom. Look at the gore.
Object pooling. Okay, that's a low frame rate.
Oh.
Holy smokes! At least for me.
Oh no, it's not just you. There were a lot of bugs that just died, and each one spawned in a set of guts. Oh. And they have not despawned yet. I don't think I've actually launched an airstrike with that many bugs spawned yet.
Is that you standing there?
No,
Who's
that's
this guy?
probably Sora. I think he's dead.
No,
dead,
I'm up
but-
on the top here. That's a ghost body or something.
Ah.
There's another one on the other end on the battle
Yeah,
map.
we still have an issue with that.
Oh yeah, I
gotta
see
figure
you.
out-
Okay, there you are, looking at us up top there. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've got 4
Okay.
more bugs somewhere. Oh, there they are.
yeah, they're over here on the opposite end where the other body is. They're just kind of chilling out next to him.
You see the new death effect? I finally used that advanced dissolve. Sora, we talked about that a while ago.
Oh,
I was like, you know what? I've got this. I'm throwing it
I'll
in
get around to
today.
using it one day.
Trying to get the mouse sensitivity down, but I don't know if it's hooked up properly. I like have it dropped way down, but it's still.
Yeah, the setting isn't gonna apply. That one I know isn't
That's
hooked up.
Yeah.
All of the
it's
menu
really
settings that
twitchy.
actually work just happen to work.
You're right. Okay.
So I've got 25 rounds and 1 clip left on my MP5. got a lot in. What gonna? I think this is the F1.
I think I'm okay. For ammo, I seem to have a fair bit.
Yeah, I think I hit an exception on my call for an airstrike. I'm still holding my radio.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, the sniper rounds go quickly. So when you do your sniper round, do you actually basically kind of structure them as a moving raycast?
No.
Do that because they're moving fast enough, and what's going to happen is they will like go right through stuff in a single frame, and it won't trigger anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I set them up just as a physical impact.
Can I hold down shift to like hold my breath and steady my cursor?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But the sniper rifle is also overpowered enough that if I let you do that, you just click, 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 and they'd all die.
Oh, that's why you have it only work for like 2 seconds or something, and you get one or 2 seconds of steadiness.
Yeah.
And then that's it. So you can like point and click stuff.
I need a scoreboard.
Okay. So I take it that wave 2 is the only one where 50.
Until you get to wave 8, I think is when that comes back, and then it grows dynamically with each wave after that.
Right.
So I guess I've killed 42 so far.
I got 14, I think, if that's on the right-hand side.
No, right-hand side is how many are left in the wave, and left-hand side is how many you've killed.
So it says 14 to me right now.
Yeah, 14 for the next wave.
And, oh, sorry, it says 20 for the next wave on the left.
No, left side is how many
yeah.
you've killed.
Oh, how many I've killed.
Right side
Okay,
is how many
so
are coming.
14.
Left side is how many you've killed.
Okay. I just reload. Oh, you lose ammo when you reload. Okay.
Yeah. You don't want to reload.
It's a hard mode game.
Oh, yeah. And as soon as you're out of ammo, you're out of ammo. There's still a bug where the reset state does not happen.
Well, this could actually be fun if we pulled 30, 40 people in here and actually threw like 200 bugs.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically scrap the animator and start over again. It has problems. Like, I mean, you see, it's not syncing properly. They're just loads of problems around the IK placement. So I'm gonna scrap the whole thing and rewrite it from scratch again.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that.
So when I also notice it's a little chunky when I aim around.
Yeah,
like, is it locally, is it locally waiting for a server update before it kind of repositions my cursor?
No, your cursor is live local, and then
yeah, and
it sends the data to the server, and it's this.
And then the server's going like, yeah, your cursor's pointing that way, right? Like that's
the actual.
That's your standard first-person shooter way.
Yeah, the actual fire happens server side, but it should be totally smooth, and it still isn't. And I don't know why. And
yeah.
So I want to totally yank out the animator, redo it. I want to make it even more flexible, so I'm gonna take all animation work. Oh, I'm out of ammo. And have the animations, the animation portion be totally independent of network engine. So it's basically you're pushing state, and then all the animations happen based on your speed and whatnot locally.
Somebody died there. They're all going for that location. Okay, I'm gonna pull out. Oh, crashed it. Yeah, too many psych faults.
We made it farther than we ever have, though. I think we made it to like 5 last time.
There's definitely something going on. So there's got to be a collider thing going on. And what's happening is, like what we're doing is we're putting all the information about, like things like seg faults and stuff. They don't get provided to the application. So the log files weren't displaying that before. So we're having the outer layer that's monitoring and capturing this stuff just append that type of data into the server log file when it goes down. And it's not live yet, but it will be pretty soon. Then you'll be able to kind of basically see, what the seg fault error was. All of yours have been landing in physics in the library somewhere. So it's some interplay of colliders that's going on, and we're, you know, we're doing our physics refactor, so we're going to do a 0.10 release. So we have a 9.19 release, right? Then we're doing like a 10.0.
Mhm.
The 9.19 just has a few smaller fixes, a bunch of quality of life stuff. 10.0 has the physics changes.
Whoever's in front of me right
10.0
now
is
is
gonna
actually their animations are properly synced. Sorry, I had
Well,
to say it.
That should just yeah, and that's all, and that should just be property syncing. So that should be just kind of like picking the right. Oh, I'm back into the game.
No, they're broken.
Kind of. Yeah, we could look at that. Like if you show us like how you're doing it,
Oh,
there might be
somebody shot me.
there might be something we'll spot to say, oh yeah, this property isn't syncing or something, or maybe it's something in the you know, the animation system itself.
It's like Sora shot me.
It's passable. Let's see here.
I shot
So
you.
Yes, you
switchy.
did.
There we go.
How have you managed that? Were you down there?
No, unless we have somebody else who
Well,
jumped
there's
in.
3 of us up
Yeah.
here. Oh, suddenly I have the sniper rifle. It just changed to using the scope when I zoom in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I had a bug a minute ago which wouldn't use the scope. You seem to
Yeah.
have a bug on that.
yeah. That one's a little
But yeah,
buggy
just
still.
now I clicked it and it went from just zooming the reticle a little bit. Maybe it's because you have to be close to the edge. I don't know.
Yeah, so this edge over here, if you're not careful, they're hidden colliders, or the bullets will impact on the edge.
Right.
Yeah, the whole aiming's off. I think I like the curve that I get from real physics aiming, but at the same time,
I need an air.
I think I might switch
I need an airstrike
to
now.
raycast.
Okay. I think we're dead. That airstrike is not coming.
On mine's.
Oh, I got shot by one of you.
Oh, I did too, I think.
Yeah, I think I shot Yolan. I don't know if I shot.
Oh yeah, look at
Everyone.
them pile up. That's no joke.
Yeah, it's pretty great. The first time it did that, I just laughed with glee because it was totally unintended, but it works so well.
They're flying off and doing other kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, some of that I think is our AI.
Yeah, it could be AI.
Yeah,
stuff.
Warspawn wrote that.
Whatever's going on the server. I think there's just a busy loop on the server. So there's another bug we have that will start to warn you when your scripts are kind of going outside of an allotted time to execute. Because typically we budget, whatever, 15, 16 milliseconds for it, which is usually, you can do a lot in 15, 16 milliseconds. And then the server has a catch-up mode, especially when like if you go over, where it will allow you to go over and then it can do a network sync kind of on the next frame, kind of like get you later strategy, right? So if you're not ready, it goes, okay, well, we'll just wait. And it'll skip sending the one frame out and then wait for the next. So it's kind of like a dynamic update rate. But it's supposed to show you warnings in the logs, and we found that there's a bug with that where the warnings are not always showing up. It's kind of almost a random thing when they do.
Give me an airstrike.
So Yolan, you say the number on the left is the number I've killed.
Yes, it's supposed to be.
So I've just been shooting into this power wheel with everything I've got, and I haven't got a single kill.
Really? Where are you standing?
Yeah, I got one kill as they were coming in.
Whoa!
Just
Somebody
one.
almost shot me.
Yeah, well, I do think I shot you, but I've just been, since you two died, I've just been shooting into this pile of them, and I've still only registered one kill.
Yeah, I think
I'm seeing the number of bugs go down though.
I'm hitting a few.
Yeah, that's
I've killed
good.
5, 6.
Yeah. Yolan's killing these things.
Give me an airstrike, please.
Somebody with
I can't change weapon either. There's something weird going on with my character. So I'm still on the sniper in terms of the model, but I'm firing one of the other weapons, not sure which.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
There's something weird with my character.
I think I'm gonna start to gut this. This will probably be the last functional build for a long time. So I think I'm going to start the animator over. Yeah, Warspawn wrote the AI from scratch too, and in the span of this jam, so it's pretty crazy what we did get done, and that's why I think we have weird things with bugs flying around. I didn't have his the grid AI integrated until the day we submitted.
Yeah, I was like just the day before, and I'm going, ooh, you're cutting some of that stuff close. Like it was scope. There was a lot of scope.
There was a lot of scope.
For a game jam game, this is crazy scope.
We wanted to see what we could do. We really wanted to challenge ourselves. And we challenged, and I felt like we really succeeded.
Cool.
It's
Yeah, it looks cool, and it like, I don't know, seeing all these bugs piled up on someone is really actually really quite entertaining.
Yeah.
By getting picked off one at a time and fading out. Yeah, I see you up there. I see your shots coming down and wasting it. Oh, so there's a couple approaches. So we have that ruins demo that you tried out, right?
Yeah, the one with the
robots with the
mechs.
destructible.
I love that demo.
And so with that one, I'm trying to think. I think it was just a lot of the pacing helped, right? So that one used a more old school approach to a first person shooter where literally the only thing going to the server was your inputs. The server would, fire the bullets, calculate the hit points, do all that kind of stuff, right? And it keeps things really in sync. And I think the pace of this game will still work with that because you don't have like fast moving characters. You're kind of realistic speed, right? Mm-hmm. So you could certainly kind of get away with the same approach, but it would definitely be, aside from where you're looking, which is just totally client side, you'd be sending the rest of it to the server. And, animation state, stuff like that would become, RPCs to say play this animation on this character at this time, which you would translate into properties, and then it should sync out to everybody else. Oh, I respawned. Oh, suddenly there's fog.
Yeah, I haven't synced the weather yet either, so we're not seeing the same weather you are.
I was going to say, I'm not seeing fog.
Yeah, I just saw this fog come in.
Alright,
I'm going to get... You know what? This area sucks, so I'm coming up with you.
if we hang out up here, and I think
We should be pretty
the
safe.
place where it crashes most is on those lower stairs down there.
When you get dogpiled, that seems to do it. So it's an interplay of colliders. There's just there may be just some colliders that just aren't working, or maybe there's an event that's not being caught or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's the bugs.
Yeah, I'm in that state where my sniper rifle's not doing anything. I'm definitely aimed at him.
Yeah, I've changed weapon, but I'm still firing sniper now.
I think it's my position. I think there's an invisible collider.
Okay, they're piling their way up to me, which...
Uh-oh. I'm exposed.
Oh, I got one. Oh, so it's one guy's flying in the
Yeah,
air.
that was another bug we hit early on. I cheated to fix that actually. The terrain on the ground is totally flat, and I start them at 0. Originally they started up on a hill, and they'd all fly at you, and you'd have these flying bugs come get you. And I just never had time to look into it, so for the jam I cheated and set the ground to 0.
See the I can see the IK at work. So this guy, who's that standing at the top with me here?
Well, that's me.
That's you, yeah.
Do we have 4 people in?
Yeah, it's putting your leg up on the thing here.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
There's another ghost player. I think it's another ghost
That's
player.
cool.
I think we get ghost players on
Look at these guys.
respawns.
It is entertaining to see these like two. Oh no, somebody's got a double.
That's me.
Somebody has
my player is a double.
Yeah, your player's a
All
double.
right, I can hang him out and as cannon fodder.
Yeah. So you must have, maybe you have don't destroy on disconnect or something, or so there's a setting when an entity is destroyed on the server, it also gets destroyed on the client automatically, but you can turn that off so that you can kind of take control of when the client entity is toast, right? And I wonder if there's some interaction with that. So I don't know, we really have to look at your code. We're gonna have to do a deep dive on it. We just have a few other things we're trying to get done first. We haven't had a chance to do a deep dive kind of on what you're working on yet.
Oh man, I am totally out of ammo. I think I'm down to a pistol.
Well, I'm pretty sure I just hit him. Why didn't he die? Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, it's so sensitive. It's the only real complaint I have right now is I can't turn the sensitivity down. If I can do it on my mouse. Oh yeah, no, that makes it worse. Oh yeah, my mouse is way too sensitive for
Yeah,
this.
it would be really easy for me to hook that up to the UI. Actually, I just need to hook it up.
Yeah. No, I've got this. I always have my mouse sensitivity kind of at the maximum DPI, but then in the games I like crank the sensitivity in game way down.
Alright. I've got some F1 rounds. 13 clips. Yeah, on my end, I think there's something with my streaming and with Discord or something that's messing with my mic. Or the default input on my desktop is going to the wrong place or something.
Oh, could be, yeah.
In fact, I
think I
know,
can call
yeah,
them in.
because I saw you call them in. I'm pretty sure I know
I call them in
what's
pretty
going on. I
reliably.
bet mine is going through my headset, which doesn't have the microphone plugged in.
Oh, I see.
Windows likes to swap out inputs for it.
It does. I think I've got, 6 output devices, audio output devices. These bugs.
Faster.
I'm just doing it. Oh, there we are.
But if we make it through wave 5, I think we'll hit a new record on waves. Oh,
Oh,
maybe it's something with
You said
wave
it.
5. Maybe we just get to a point where there's a memory leak or something and it's crashing because we're on. Because I don't think we've ever made it past wave 5.
yeah, I don't think you have a memory leak issue. I think there's something else going on. Like we're not seeing your memory go out of bounds. Plus, we increased memory limits and stuff while you're working on it, just to make sure it could be captured, right? In case there was something. Yeah, I don't know. It's because it's in physics. It's just a configuration issue here. There's ways. Plus, it's an older version. We're still on physics 3.4 with this. With the update that's coming, we're moving to physics 4.1, which also will probably help, but will also probably break other things, right? Or change some other behaviors. So I don't think you're really relying on physics very much in this. I think for the most part, you're moving things manually and you're grounding them manually and doing that, right?
Yeah, I think for the most part.
A really cheap and dirty way to kind of do it so you don't have to worry about much. Don't worry about grounding outside of with characters and whatnot. Like you'd have to detect a grounding. For when people are jumping or whatever, but just have things be physical capsules, have them obey gravity, and then just move them along the ground, right? Or just say, hey, set a velocity, kind of in the XY direction. And so each iteration they're basically saying, hey, I'm going to this destination right now, or I'm going in this direction. They'll set their velocity in that direction and just kind of trust the physics engine to move them about. And that will probably work really quite well. Like you won't have, you'll probably find that they'll just have a much more kind of predictable behavior out of the gate, and then you can kind of tune them from there. right? Like they would never be up in the sky, for example, right? They would always just fall to the ground. I'm calling an airstrike. I need an airstrike.
Yeah, so with the airstrike, if you say I need a linear airstrike, it'll line them up in a line, and you can bomb the whole corridor.
Oh, I should have called a linear.
I need a linear airstrike. If I fix my audio.
It's. Oh yeah, we're dead. We're dead. I'm running.
What the hell? Up the
This
stairs.
is crazy.
Nope, I ran past. Not in a good spot.
Oh, I got stuck on an invisible wall and eaten.
Hey, my airstrike worked.
Yeah, bomb my body.
I'm at a.
Missing entity. Missing entity.
Yeah, same thing again, Yolan. I'm just firing into this pile here and doing no damage.
I need an airstrike. I was just testing to see if I could call one while I'm dead.
I need an airstrike.
How do you call it?
Press T and say I need an airstrike while you're looking at your target.
Got it.
You're probably the only one with their airstrike left, so.
I need an airstrike.
It'll tell you if an airstrike's coming.
Okay.
I need to add visual.
I need an
updates on
airstrike.
that.
Doesn't like English
Thank
accents.
you.
Oh, it can't hear me. Yeah, of course, Discord's got me mic.
Oh yeah, Discord probably. That could be an aspect. Mind you, it was working for me when I was in Discord.
Let's see if we can see what settings is the mic setting in the thing? That's asking a bit much.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be an
Guys
input
doing a
setting,
number on them. They're dying.
but I don't know if it's actually hooked up to set the default mic.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there for the mic. So I am doing damage now, though. I just killed 2, but
Killed 40.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just not hitting most of the time.
That was some feedback we got from the game jam too. People couldn't tell when they were hitting. It's definitely true.
Yeah, I think what's happening, I'm getting some sparks in front of me. I think I'm hitting a collider between me and them. I'm in the tower with the windows, looking down on that corner, and when I fire, I'm getting some impact sparks in the middle of nowhere.
So Yolan, have you installed the physics debugger, physics visual debugger before?
No, I have not.
So you can get it from the DevTools area of the NVIDIA website. Reactor will connect to that. So there's a use physics debugger setting in the room, right? The room type. And what that does is, if you're running the physics debugger locally, the server will connect to it and then stream all the interactions, all the manifolds, all the data to the physics debugger, and you can actually visualize the server view of your game, right? And you can also record it, play it back. You can look at manifolds, and you can kind of look at what's happening. It'll give you a little more insight into what's going on.
I may have to try that at some point.
Yeah, it is pretty good. You do need I've discovered, with my ancient CPU that it doesn't run physics visual debugger anymore. But if you have anything that's probably within the last 6 years, it probably should.
Now you may have enough credits now to launch another airstrike. I think I give you 1,000 credits per wave, and that's about enough for one airstrike. I don't know if I actually got that successfully hooked up and working. I didn't build the UI around it.
I got one from a long distance. Lots of bullet drop. What's the distance in units down that corridor?
I'm not sure. I didn't measure it.
What's your bullet? Like how tall is a character? Do you know?
Almost 2 meters.
2 meters? So 2. How fast does a bullet travel then?
Depends on the rifle. Sniper rifle, I think, is 100 meters per second.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if you like the actual, you could like bump it up to 1,000 meters per second for the sniper rifle, and the other rifles could be, you know, between 400 and 600. But then you would definitely want to, from your bullet
The
position,
line casts.
ray cast ahead 16 milliseconds, and then use that as the hit,
Yeah.
right? That's it's just because the simulation. That's actually kind of just the way it's done, really. Otherwise, it would be too fast for the sim to actually pick up the hit. Come on.
The sniper is very satisfying when it works.
Yeah.
It is actually.
Hey,
But sniper rifles always are.
the
aren't they?
area outside
True.
the circle is supposed to be blurred. There's a blur effect on it. It's not working either. Oh, why?
Right now, I'm not getting the circle. I've got that kind of bug, and I can't switch my weapons.
On round 5? I think we're on round 5.
We on round 5?
Everybody find a spot and don't move.
Hey, how do I set my name so you can see it? Because I think I'm the blank name person.
It's in the main menu at the bottom.
Or if you need to set it, then Whippo's blank.
Yeah, why don't you use ASDF?
Well, suddenly I went up to... Oh no, never mind. I still just have one kill. No, I definitely killed that one. That didn't count, and that one too. I'm shooting them at the back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't hit him in
I
the
don't have my
back.
kills.
It's a capsule collider toward the front, where the head is. I replaced that
see.
today. It was a sphere collider and it was a little bit bigger, and so.
Oh, what I meant is I hit the most distant. I was sniping off the most distant ones.
Hey, wave 5 complete. We've just made it through wave 5.
Oh,
You know, it's because we didn't get dogpiled. There's something that's happening when they dogpile. That is freaking physics
Alright.
out.
I'm gonna try and launch an
Which is-
airstrike. I don't know if it'll work. Right at the beginning.
Now, how do you the colliders for your bugs? Are you still doing the double collider thing? Like you have the trigger collider and then you have a capsule
Yep.
collider? Yeah, that should work. That should be okay.
Alright, 50. This is like round 2.
Now, for your trigger collider, are you using both colliders on the same object, or using kind of like a trigger collider separately?
Trigger collider is on a child of the root.
So it's on a child, but that child's not an entity, right?
Give me a linear airstrike, please. Airstrike
Oh.
inbound. All right.
That was me.
alright.
That was my bad. I think I just killed a friendly.
Yeah, friendly fire. Man,
Oh.
But you weren't in my field of view. You were actually like
stopped
way
firing.
to my right.
I think the server just died. Nope. There it is.
Oh no! You had a leg.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, my airstrike got a few of them.
That was. Yeah.
Yeah. The other problem with the AI is they all go for one person. So they're going after somebody up there on the ledge, and I'm down here on the ground, and I can just
Oh, that's
pick them
me.
off.
That's me. They're going after me, and I can't shoot them at the moment. None of my guns are working.
yeah, the piling's really good, Yolan. So if you just give them a bit of an AI, that means some of them break off every now and again. That'd work pretty well, I think, if you can sort out the physics thing that's coming from them.
Yeah. Plus they're okay. I'm getting damaged and I can't even see them. They're damaging me through the wall.
Yeah. We got complaints about that too. It got me through the wall. Yeah, it's just a big sphere collider.
So- oh, okay. There's an invisible wall here. I can't go back. The one got me from I don't know where. Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
I
The
think
corner.
you climbed the corner, yeah.
Yeah, I think I just briefly saw him. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go back to the main menu for a sec. And, just see where I can set my name. Oh, ASDF, that's me. I'm just gonna change it to Justin. Alright, that's better.
don't know if I can shoot this bug. There we go. We beat Wave 6. Setting records. But I don't have the leaderboard set up.
Man, I just
launched
I just wish I had sensitivity control.
So Justin's #1 request is sensitivity controls.
Because it's just twitchy. It's a twitchy monster for me.
I'm playing with the trackball right now. It's not.
There we go. Once I shifted back to the sniper a few times, it actually selected the sniper rifle. And it's given me the reticle. Man, this dude really needs to learn how to hold his breath.
I need an airstrike.
Airstrike inbound.
Not inbound fast enough. Not inbound fast enough. Oh, and I'm on the wrong pole.
I think they're all coming for me.
Oh man, my airstrike totally missed. It was way off. I don't know where I was aiming.
I need an airstrike.
I need to set up smoke for the airstrike.
Oh.
At one point, it had
I just called
spears.
airstrike right on my location, but it didn't call it. I need an airstrike.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
I am totally out of ammo.
Oh, look at them fly into the sky.
That's awesome. It's just this ball of bugs in the air.
What's that? What a weird ball. I mean, at least we're all seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is...
Where's it going?
Where's it go? Where'd the ball go?
It's way, way up in the sky.
Oh, there it is. I just can't see high enough to...
Yeah, the lookup angle's annoying too. I need to fix that. Can only go up like 70 degrees.
Yeah, you gotta tell Warspawn his AI, flying AI is awesome.
Yeah. We'll have to send him the link in the VOD so he can check it out.
I'm kind of firing at them point blank, but I have a feeling my reticle's not sending the bullets into the ball.
Yeah, that might be the problem. That might be what I was having earlier on.
Oh, I have the wrong weapon up. I may not be doing any damage at all. Hey there, now I'm killing stuff. Okay, so Sora, if you get to the point where you're not doing damage, switch weapons a couple times. Because it had the wrong weapon up, so I think it's firing straight down. Off your back, one of the guns on your back.
Oh right, got it. Yeah.
Wait. Somebody killed ASDF, but... Oh, I get it. When I left an ASDF in the thing. Right. So on disconnect is... Or on player leave is maybe not being handled.
Yeah, maybe I'm not despawning at all when they leave.
You might not be despawn... Like when a player disconnects on the server, so you have to have an on-player leave on the server, right?
I do. I don't know if I'm despawning.
And then when that player leaves, then you will basically call a, a destroy entities on his entity. Oh, I have a ghost with me. There's two of me all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it lets you control it.
It's kind of...
I need a linear airstrike.
Oh.
You hear an airstrike inbound? I did not.
No.
I need a linear airstrike.
Oh, we're crashed.
I'm still here.
Oh no, something's
My
happening.
airstrike did get called, and it's way off again.
Yeah, it is way off.
Oh. Someone's dragging him over here. Don't drag him over here.
Oh, sorry, am I dragging them this way? What, did you not want them?
Ah. Oh.
Here we go.
All right, we made it to wave 8. All right, I think I gotta get back to
So,
normal stream
interestingly-
content now. But
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, it definitely crashes kind of when all of us die, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
that's
all
true.
of us die, and so like check your on-player leave events. So you're gonna be on the server in your room script. You're gonna have an on-player join. You're gonna have an on-player leave. You just count up when you get an on-player join. Count down when you get an on-player leave. See if they're matching up. Because it might be something where
something crashes.
it's like a collider's
yeah,
going.
maybe there's a exception before they or in the leave process and the actual despawn.
Well, it's a seg fault, so it sounds like it's a bit of it's something that's getting deallocated like a collider, but then it's being fed back in, right? So there's kind of like this thing going on where, oh yeah, we're going to remove this entity, but then the collider is still registered with physics somehow, so it tries to reference that memory and then seg faults, right? If I was just guessing, and generally what you're going to do is, all right, player joins, you're going to spawn an avatar for them, attach their controller, and they're going to run. And then the player leave, you're just going to go to the controller and say destroy controlled entities, right? So that just basically takes the entity that the controller is attached to and erases it. It'll despawn it on the server if you have on the client as well, as long as you have destroy with server tick, which is the default, right? So basically the player entity should just disappear when they disconnect. And that, as long as that part is set up, then you shouldn't have any wonkiness with the colliders based on the players. The other thing that's possible is, it's a creature collider, so there's something going wrong. Maybe because you have kind of two trigger colliders. Maybe it's because you have this child collider. So you have it on child object, right? You have a collider on the child object that's trigger. And do you have that child object set up as an entity?
100% client side.
Good. Okay. So that's completely client side. So that you're basically using the trigger only client side, and that's only so that, like, from a client, and which client is it is the question. The creature will detect someone, and then, or something will happen when something passes into the trigger zone, right?
Yep.
So given that you have multiple clients, this creature is going to have that same trigger zone on all the connected clients. So which client is kind of responsible for sending that information? It's probably all of them, because I bet you probably didn't do any kind of designation or whatever, right? So they'll all send an RPC.
Yeah, they're all going to send it at the same
so-
time.
Yeah, so they're all going to send the RPC at the same time, which is fine if you're handling it. Like,
So maybe they're not.
RPC.
They may have.
it'll only work that way. Like if you have a trigger volume on the client.
Yeah, they may
and-
all be sending their RPC, but I may have actually
Yeah, they'll
filtered
all
it
send the
server side
RPC
so they don't
on-
take damage from.
But
the
now
thing.
here's the kicker: is the clients might all be on slightly different frames.
Yeah.
And when they send those RPCs, we send it on we send it on the, it's kind of like a best effort thing, right? So a client will send an RPC in. RPCs are processed immediately. If your RPC is delayed, then what happens is the same RPC will kind of land twice, potentially a frame apart or 2 frames apart. And depending on your server code, you may or may not care about that. But chances are it will care, because it can cause things to kind of suddenly retarget or do other weird stuff. Like you can get some odd stuff. A lot of times you'll probably just get, all the clients will have them attack generally the same person, so last RPC will win, and it'll just go that way. But you could have situations where clients are kind of in a race condition, they kind of retarget one of these things, like retarget one of the bugs on you based on the RPCs just arriving late. So that's something to consider. Now you could just move that trigger volume to the server. So the way you do it is you don't put a child on the bug. You just put another collider on the bug, and you give it a different collision filter. So you're going to want a collision filter that the only thing it does is notify when it it notifies with whatever other collision groups you want it to be notified of, but you don't want it to react with anything, right? So react has to be off for everything, and then just notify for the things that you care about. You make sure that group is ticked for that particular, like you'll have a collision group set up for that filter, right? So it'll be like bug trigger. It'll be one of your collision groups. So then you'll create a filter based on that. So you'll tick group for bug filter, and then just notify for, say, like player, and then you attach that sphere just as a collider directly on the bug, so it'll encapsulate your capsule, right? It'll go outside your capsule, and then you just run all the code server side, right? Do your overlap check right on the bug itself, and then it should return players whenever you overlap with players, so then you can make your decisions at that point. I remember you were having some issues with that.
Yeah, the other thing I need to do with that too is maybe stick the damage colliders on the claws or something. They can still be relatively big, but the entire size of the bug gets kind of funky, like you were saying, with it damaging through things.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of put a bunch of colliders together right on the same object if you want to like do the head and the body, and then kind of like zones where the claws are. But the other trick you can do is so right now you're spawning bullets. You're always going to spawn bullets server side, but you can make an exception that for the client that fires the bullets, you always process them as though it's a single player first person shooter, and then when they make a hit, they actually notify the server of where the hit was.
That's how the
Right.
That's how the missiles work on the airstrike.
Airstrike. Yeah.
Because
So similar.
airstrike, actually the launch that happens, the missiles are guided by the whatever asset it was they used for those, and it had this nice self-guided missile script already built, and I didn't want to port that server side, so each client actually does its own missile control, and then the one who fired is the one whose missiles send the impact message to the server to spawn an explosion.
Yeah, and I mean that'll also work for the bullets. Same general principle, right? So you have that really great kind of local feel. Then you inform the server, and then you can write some code on the server to say, okay, was he facing more or less the right direction? Would the bullet have gone, like, from my view of the simulation, is the bullet close enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll do some kind of test saying, like, okay, well, he claimed the bug was hit here, even though, he's a bit behind, right? And I'm a bit behind his inputs, and he's a bit behind my simulation, right? So you kind of have to fudge things a bit and see if in general, the bullet could have plausibly hit, and then you can kind of approve it or not approve it from the server side, right? By just basically applying the damage or not.
Yep.
So the same principle applies. You get the nice, that really kind of crisp first person feeling. Then you can start doing crazy stuff like you could do your per polygon testing or something on the client side, and then have blood spatter hit from the polygon that was hit, and you could shoot through the legs on the client, and then just tell the server it's like, oh, that wasn't a hit, right? Or because you're not informing the server of any hit whatsoever, it just won't really show one, right? Like it wouldn't matter. And then when you do get one, it would go, okay, that was a leg hit, or that was a body hit, or that was a head hit, and then apply the damage.
Throwing some trees in this scene. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to stream again tomorrow night. I think we got a little carried away with shooting things in ADF because it was fun. But I enjoyed it.
Yep, it was fun. Thanks.
So maybe tomorrow night I'll do what I plan to do tonight.
Yeah, it was good fun. Pop in again when I get a chance.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna redo the animator at least. I don't know. I got to the point where it's like so much of it is just garbage. I got, especially when we got toward the end of the jam, I was going lightning fast, and I was just slamming things in there, throwing features in left and right.
Oh yeah, no,
So,
it was kind of crazy from a scope perspective. You guys were doing a lot. So it was. I mean, yeah, you're pretty close. I think it was close to what you wanted.
Yeah, I felt like it did what I wanted. I hit all the goals that I aimed for, even if none of the features worked perfectly.
Yeah. And I mean that's I guess that's part of the fun, right? Game jams are about kind of figuring out kind of what you can do and how quickly. And you guys, like, I wouldn't have expected to see a multiplayer game with voice commands and decent graphics and all that kind of stuff in a 2-week jam typically.
I don't think I've had a game jam where I've not tried to be super ambitious. It always ends up biting me in the end, but I don't do them to do well in the jam. I do them to learn something and see just how hard I can push myself. So I probably will never win a jam or even come close. But
you can always just go with some smaller scope thing, right?
well, I thought about doing a quick rebuild of this local play with as a local, just shoot the bugs. Like what we played today, I could probably rebuild that in a couple days with the right combination of assets, and have it actually work and look even better. The fact that we had to rewrite so much stuff to make it work with Reactor actually ended up slowing us down quite a bit. If we would have gone with a full asset flip type build, I think we would have made it even farther. Especially if we dumped multiplayer. But I wanted to learn to use Reactor. I wanted to get my multiplayer controller, a version of it built out, and so we went with what we did.
Yeah, well, you did pretty good. I mean, considering you're just adopting basically what was a brand new technology, and Reactor is not mirror, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not photon. It's kind of its own thing. It's an engine, right? It is an engine.
Yeah.
It
I think when I went into it,
runs on a server.
When I went into it, I expected it to be more like mirror because I already had mirror controller built and functional. And then when we realized, we don't have any Unity components whatsoever server side. Oh no. We've made a big mistake. But we pulled it off though. I mean, we definitely had this oh no moment when we realized we were gonna have to build everything from scratch.
That definitely kind of blows things up a little bit, right? And that's that's something that can't be avoided unless we were running Unity on the server side, which when we first built Reactor, that wasn't an option, right? It was just forbidden by their T's and C's. You couldn't do it, and we built the whole system. And then Improbable had their little bit of drama a couple of years ago with them, and then Unity eventually came around and changed their T's and C's, and we're looking at that and going, okay, well, so basically, if you build something that is reliant on whether or not you can use someone else's technology to that degree, then you're kind of giving them a lot of say as to whether or not you can be a business, right? And so we kind of said, well, we're gonna continue on with the core, like the core engine we did, because it's way more lightweight than Unity, like vastly more lightweight. We've optimized some significant bits of it, right? There's no one of the interesting things, as long as you're doing stuff through room RPCs for the most part, like from the server to the clients, you do things through RPCs or entity RPCs. Additional clients incur practically zero server load. So if it's one client or say 1,000 clients, there's a very, very tiny difference in the amount of server CPUs that uses it. Like it exists, but it's not significant. It's not like, say, doing an extra ray cast per object or something, right? Like it's actually very small. And we've also optimized the compression side that reduces bandwidth quite a bit, so that it's very effective, but it doesn't have when somebody connects, it's like, okay, that increases server load by like 2% or something, right? Like it's not significant, and it's a one-time hit. And then rebuilding all that stuff inside of Unity would have been, we'd have to trust that the engine is stable enough. Actually, and it wasn't. we couldn't even run, like, Unity couldn't even run kind of like long term. Certainly not in the editor anyway. Couldn't really run long term with Scene Fusion. We certainly detected like Unity going down after periods of time with that. So we stuck with our own server. Maybe in the future, I think we'll also make it so you can do, as long as we can make it nice and slick, right? Like the nice thing we can do is, hey, there's a publish button, and you don't have to worry about doing a Linux build or anything, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of click it.
That
It
was
goes.
definitely nice.
And that's that's like, that was a huge thing for us, because we build games too, right? Like we do, it's more like for third parties and stuff, but we've been doing this, and it's like we just don't want, we have a single person, say, focused on a project. It's a tremendous waste of time to have them deal with servers, and just having it be, oh yeah, there's this publish button, you just give it a version, you hit publish, then you go over to servers, and you pick what you want and you click launch, and it's running, right? So there's your debug environment, and then when you want to run your release version, you go to the web console and say, all right, just run this in this zone, and click to keep alive, or click cluster, or whatever you need to do, and then just have the thing run in a more production-like way, right? And I don't know, for me that's kind of big. I've done lots of server administration stuff in the past, and developers aren't good at keeping a server secure for the most part.
I'm not interested
And
in setting
it's
up
a waste
servers
of their
anymore.
time.
I did it when I was young,
it's a waste of time.
and no, I just want it to work. I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
mess
You
with
just
that stuff.
it's point and go. Like honestly, the kind of purpose of Reactor was to get all the crap out of the way, and also to have some wicked tech so you could do crazy things, right? Just throw tons of objects. It had to do tons of objects. That was like the reason why it exists is thousands of objects in a scene all working, right? So a lot of effort kind of went into that aspect of it, and then the ease of use side was just because, the end of the day, it's hubris, right? If people just want to build the game, and they don't really want to mess around with nonsense, so yeah, and it works out well. So if we have our own, it makes it really easy for us to do that publish button, right? That thing where it's just like, hey, you've got some core code in an image. All we have to do is bundle up that assembly, bundle up the associated data. It gets slotted into a host on the server side, right? This lightweight host application that just basically just lets the your DLL do its, and all the rest is just under the hood. There's some bits in Unity that automatically talk to the discovery stuff, and there's a ton of back end work there to make all that happen, right? Which is, people having to build that.
Yeah.
Right.
No idea.
We want it to be as easy to use as Photon, right? In terms of getting servers up and getting code running, and over the long run, we think it could be easier to use than Photon, because if you're implementing thing in a server authoritative way, you're not going to have to jump through hoops later. The way it works on day one is the same. It's going to work on day 100. right? You're not going to have to, like, once you're used to the system, it's just not going to change, right? So with Dawn, it's kind of like, hey, we got something working because inputs are synced. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. And then, 30 days later, oh, shoot, this doesn't sync perfectly. Well, how do we make that happen, right? And then you have to muck around to say, oh, yeah, some authority, and, they're going to run the physics sim and sync these different things. Then, it has to be a little bit of rigid body stuff. And there's a lot of games that you just end up discovering kind of later in the process that you just can't build. Because message passing system is the wrong approach. Whereas with this, it's like, well, you could build a messaging system if you want. It takes about half an hour, or you could just run the sim on the server side and not worry about it.
All right. Well, I think I'm at my end of my night.
Yeah.
So, thanks for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And we will try this again once I get some more modifications built in.
Yeah. If you have kind of questions on approach, just ping us on Discord.
Yep. I'll be around. I've got a bunch of stuff coming up on work, so it may be a little more sparse for a little while.
That's okay. We still have a couple of big releases to get done. So.
Good night, Yolan and Justin.
All right. Well, have a good night.
All right. Night.
All right. Take care.
Yep. That was Justin from Kinematic Soup, and he's the one who runs the server system that backs Alien Defense Force. So he's been really helpful all along, getting us going and fixing our problems as we back through the game jam. But yeah, we kind of got a little carried away playing the game. We're having a lot of fun with it, so we didn't get as much built as I wanted to tonight. Definitely didn't make it to any of the new assets. I think we'll do another stream in the next night or two to cover what I was going to cover. But yeah, what I just did real quick before I call it a night, I took the road mask, this dirt path here, and then I created this map that's kind of even over one a little bit. And it's basically taking the edges of the road and throwing some plants along the edges of that road. So if you look closely at the way the mask actually ends up applying, the center of the road is 0. Then it's just kind of these outer edges that are kind of on the transition that get found. So this is a way to add foliage along the edge of the road. So, yep. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough of the game, and we'll try and pick up where we left off in another night or two.